Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Football Manager 2019 with Zebu Nation. We are back with FC Cincinnati, and today we have the mid-season review for the 2022 MLS regular season. Let's check it out. You know, we've hit a bit of a downturn here. It's sort of the post-Champions League letdown. It seems to happen every year when we go far in the Champions League, and it doesn't work out very well for us, at least, for this part of the season. Ordinarily, we bounce back, but hopefully we can bounce back this season. Well, let's just look at the numbers here. So we got 17 games played, 6 wins, 7 draws, 4 losses, plus 10 goal differential, total of 25 points. And that's good for 5th place in the Eastern Conference, 11th place overall in the Supporters' Shield. So Supporters' Shield's looking pretty far away. And the main reason for that is up here, DC United. Look at this. They got the same number of games that we have. That's very disconcerting because they have 11 wins, 6 draws, no losses on the season. DC United is still undefeated for the season. 39 points plus 22 goal differential. They are killing it. Now, right behind them in the Supporters' Shield is Seattle with 38 points. So they're not doing too bad either, but they've played 2 more games than DC United, and they've got 3 losses. And then Houston, Chicago. It's a pretty balanced league this year. There's no one half of the league sort of dominating the other half. But, we're being left behind at the moment, and I don't like that one bit. And neither does the board. As you can see here, board confidence 37% for Major League Soccer because they want us to win the MLS. Now, good news is when they say win the MLS, they just mean win the Eastern Conference playoffs, essentially. So, or the MLS Cup, which we can do even if we finish in 5th place. We can still go on to the playoffs because we are definitely a playoff type team. The more difficult thing will be Supporters' Shield. I mean, they just want us to finish around the top of the league, but right now their confidence is only 13%. So we got board issues, believe it or not. And this has happened to me before where I won the Champions League. The one and only time that I won the Champions League, I got fired from my job halfway through the year. So, winning Champions League doesn't necessarily guarantee you anything with the board. They really don't care about it. They only care, they're happy if you win it. But after you win it, look at this, it goes away. It's not on our list anymore of competition. So now they're like, that's in the past, buddy. What have you done for me lately? And lately, we are not doing too well. We can take a look at the schedule and see, ever since Champions League, ever since we got deep in the Champions League, look at this. Draw, loss, draw, draw, loss, draw, draw, loss. So no wins since the semifinal. No wins since April 2nd in MLS. So it's been April, May. It is now June 4th. So it's 2 full months since our last win in MLS. And even today, we got U.S. Cup coming up. So, yet another cup competition that I don't know if that's going to help us out or not. Now, the way the board is with us, what are our expectations in this competition? Reach the quarterfinal. So we should at least do that, I think, just to get that check mark next to the board. Because right now, they're 50%. That's kind of keeping us afloat right now with the board, is this U.S. Cup expectation. So if we go out this round, that might put even more pressure on us, and that would be no good at all. Now we can take a look at some stats for the mid-season. Our old pal Luciano Vietto from Argentina leading the league in goals once again. 12 goals in 17 appearances. Blondell up there for Vancouver. 9 goals. Fagundes for DC United, also 9. Milano for Portland, also 9. Albert Elise, he's playing well this season yet again. 8 goals. And down and down. We don't have anybody on this list. Most assists. Vladimir Weiss, 12 assists for Vancouver, another Vancouver. Areola still holding on there for DC United, only 27 years of age. He's not that old. Second place in the league. Anybody else who's of worth mentioning? Not really. Not really. Most distance run. It's like, I don't think. Oh, look at that. Luke White, our draft pick, number 1 draft pick up here, 8.1 miles. So he's probably played more MLS games than, some of our normal starters, and that's part of the reason why. But we've got all those guys back now. So I think those guys that came back are just tired, or I don't know what their deal is. They're just not playing well. Key tackles, we don't have anybody on this list. Escobar from Atlanta United, 8 key tackles, I guess. Sure. Why not? Least conceded, Diouf. Now, he's played most of these games in MLS. He's played 16 of our 17 games. So that's the one good news. I mean, he was not registered for Champions League. So he's been able to play all these MLS games, and he's played pretty well. 13 goals allowed in 16 appearances. That's fine. We'll take that any day of the week. It's just our offense has been in the toilet. I don't know what to tell you. Shutouts, he's got 7 shutouts of his 16 appearances. That's good enough. It's no Jesse Gonzalez, who's got 13 shutouts in 17 appearances for DC United. And you can see now why DC United is playing so well, getting all those shutouts. Tackles, we don't have anybody on this list. Ali Ghazal from Egypt. Vancouver, another Vancouver player. So you can see Vancouver's having an excellent season this year. Most dribbles, who cares? Ibarra. Most key passes, Dimitri Payet from New England. 35 years old. 43 key passes. So at least he's got more passes than his age. That's always a good thing to have. Weiss, again, from Vancouver. Akam is up there, 31 years old now. Rudiez, Ladero, Areola, Ibarra, so a lot of familiar names up there. Best at hitting the target, Elise, 70% on target. That's really good. Rudiez, also 70%. Medina, Akam, Will Ochoa up there, 62%. Bunbury for New England, so a couple of New England guys up there, Blondell and Vietto. So a lot of the guys you think of would be at the top are up there. A couple of interesting dudes from New England, but everybody else you would expect to be up there. So yeah, we just got I don't know. I don't know if we're tired. I don't know if we're inconsistent working in new lineups or stuff like that. It's just hasn't been working out in the last few games. Let's see. What else can we look at here? Finances are fine. You still have $17 million in the bank, so we're looking good. Payroll has gone up a little bit after it had gone down earlier to sub $8 million. We're now back up to 9.3. We'll look at that in a minute. Board, as I mentioned, we're still stable. Been underlined by the fans' delight at their convincing 9-1 North American Champions League final, so we're still happy about that. Board is satisfied, but after winning Champions League, you're sitting at 48%. That's not good. That is, oof. I don't know what to tell you. We got to win some games is all I got to tell you. Yeah. So let's try and do that. Let's try and win some games. Look at that. We can add on to the payroll budget. I don't want to do that though. So yeah, we got board problems. I don't want to get fired in my final, my triumphant season. Finally win Champions League and then get fired. That would be so demoralizing. Club-wise, we're still at 3 reputation. I'd be interested to see what that reputation is next season. when we get into the Club World Championships, but we'll see about that. Now, transfers. We've had some transfers, some interesting stuff going on. Now, one thing, I think I forgot to talk about it. Or did I? It's not that. Is it over here? No, that's not it. It's a trade. It was a trade. Yeah. Trade. Okay, so we made all those trades earlier in the season. Yeah, we traded Luis Felipe. I don't know if I really mentioned that. I know we left on a cliffhanger a couple of episodes ago, but I don't know that I ever said that I went through with it, and I did go through with it. For Philadelphia, we got 2 second-round picks and $2.5 million in general allocation money, so that was cool. But Felipe, he's a guy who was just kind of on the edge of being a starter. But we went with Alashi this year just because he was team leader. He was a guy who made some demands and, squeaky wheel and all that. So we let go of Felipe. Got some good value for him. 2 second-round picks and $2.5 million is pretty decent. Then likewise with Denner. Guy we brought in for $750,000. We got a first-round draft pick and $75K for him. We also had to toss in a super draft pick and an international slot for 1 year just so New England would have space on the roster to pick him up. So, not really a great deal, but we weren't using him at the time and just wanted to kind of get rid of him. Could have used him later in the season, but not real desperate for his services at this point like we were last season. Anyway, we had to pick up an international slot to make up for that. So we sent one of those second-round picks out to Sporting Kansas City for an international slot because we had a big trade in the works. Big trade. Matt Butcher from Philadelphia for $3 million in allocation money plus 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick. Again, overspending, overpaying, but you know what? We're going for it this season. And who's Matt Butcher, you might be asking. You might know him, but you might not. He is 25-year-old Englishman. Just had a birthday. He was 24 when we picked him up. But he's 3 stars, 3.5-star potential, so he still has a little bit of room to grow. Valued at $4.8 million. First-teamer, box-to-box midfielder, but more importantly, a natural segundo volante. He's pretty good. He's not like a dominant player, but he's very well balanced. He doesn't have a lot of holes in his game, maybe crossing and corners and special teams and stuff, but we don't need special teams players. We got lots of special teams guys. We need an everyday, every down workman type player. He's got 12 long shooting, 13 passing, 12 vision, work rate, lots of 12s and 13s all up and down the midfield. But his physicals are very good. He's 6'2", very strong, decent pace, very good stamina, balance, agility. I think he's a very good player. Where did he come from? Played 3 seasons at Philadelphia. Before that, Blackpool, Bradford, Bournemouth. So, I don't know. You might know this guy. He's been around the block. Doesn't look like he played much at all with Bournemouth. No, he just kept going out on loan as a young player. He got 34 games at Bradford City, 38 games at Blackpool, then got let go, picked up on a free by Philadelphia. And he's played really well for Philadelphia. 7 points or better in all 3 seasons that he's played. So hopefully he can do that for us as well, because we just needed a little bit of a kick at defensive midfield. We've been playing okay with Alashi, but I don't think he has quite the talent that we want there. Yeah, so that was the big move we made. Made that just recently, just a couple of games ago, so he hasn't played much for us, but hoping he can help us turn it around, because we just, as you saw in the schedule, just have not been playing well. Our last game was honestly our worst game, 3-0 loss to Houston. Elise, you saw him up there at the top of the charts. He he beat us on a long ball. And then we've had injuries. We haven't even looked at the injuries yet. But here we go. Here's the first goal. There's Elise just beating everybody. He's still got that speed. And, just beats the goalkeeper. Beats 3 defenders. And it was all kind of downhill from there. Rojas. Goalkeeper misses another one. So it's just kind of a bad game for Juve. DeVries here. I think we get one back and then they get... Yeah, we get one back here. DeVries kicks it forward. Richie Salvador coming up from the midfield. Then DeVries gets injured late in this game. And here is their third and final goal to salt it away. Bastidas on the back post. Just puts it away. So, I mean, we gotta do something. And maybe bringing in Butcher will help us out. I don't know. We'll see. Richie Salvador's played well. I mean, everybody's been tired. Everybody has been injured. Take a look at the medical center here. Look at this injury chart. Nuhu, Sonora, Richard, Zalashi. Wyszynski's no big loss, but then Patrick Lee, backup, defender. And then we got a few guys who are just coming back from injuries, including Carlton, who's still a little unfit. We just got a lot of people who are not very fit. Carlton, Kobian, Wadey, we got issues. So we got this U.S. Cup game that we're going to play. We're going to play a lot of reserves, or at least as many reserves as we can, because we got so many guys injured. It's hard. It's hard to pick a team. So here we go. New York Red Bull 2. Take a look at these guys. What are they up to these days? Not a great-looking team here, at least that we can see. What's their... No. We can't see their registration. That's no good. Transfer history. What have the Red Bulls been up to? No trades, apparently. All transfers. Not a lot. New York Red Bulls 2. Wait a minute. We're going to be playing a couple of our own guys. Patrick Youngs. Anybody else? Okay. No wonder these guys look so bad. It's New York Red Bulls 2. I didn't realize that. Let's take a look at the U.S. Cup 4th round. That's right. It's this round. I thought it was the round after that, but we're still in the round where we have some smaller teams in there. Louisville City just got knocked out by FC Dallas. Let's see. Portland 2 got put out by Seattle. That's sort of fitting. I guess Tampa Bay was in there. Colorado Springs, North Carolina. Win on penalties over New York. Nice. Miami City was in there. Des Moines, St. Louis, Sacramento. Oof, St. Louis beat 8-0 by Houston. That's no good. Lane United. Yeah, okay, so there were some interesting teams in there. So, okay, I feel a little bit better about this game. I think we do have to take Carlton out of there. I was going to play him, but he is not fit. So, we have Jake Wadey on the bench. Put him in there. And then it's kind of slim pickings as to who else we can put in there. Wyszynski's injured. DeVries, I don't really want to put him on the bench. Miguel Przbilko's out on international duty. That's no good. I guess we'll just find somebody healthy and put him in there. Justin Vargas, you've been nominated. Happy birthday. There you go. Okay, that's fine. We kind of could have used another defender in there on the bench. So let's go. Lacking match sharpness, yeah. That's fine. Let's do it. Okay, so here's the lineup. Still have Juve in goal. Stevenson, Kobian, coming back from injury, is going to be in there with Glad, Torres, Arsman, Richie Salvador, Wadey, White, Crispum on the right. I don't think I wanted Crispum in there, but he's in there. Hitman up top. Let's see. Are they playing our guy? Ortiz, Lima. No, they're not playing our guy against us. I thought he was allowed to, but maybe not. Most of the guys I send out, I allow them to play against me, just so they can get some of that experience. But whatever. Is he on the bench even? Oh, I don't know. I can't see. Let's check the opposition instructions. No, he's not on the bench. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. We don't want to play against him anyway. At this point, we need all the breaks we can get. You've chosen to leave DeVries and are going with somebody else. Are you therefore not quite interested? Yeah, we got our sights set on bigger things. Jake Wadey takes the captain's armband. Yep. Sure, Carlton is left out. So we might have risked him. Come on, man. I got a lot of questions for the U.S. Cup here. Patrick Young's absence. Let's see. I don't know. I'm focused on what we can do. You might have a problem. Get out of here. Stop with the questions. We're out. We're done. All right, so here we are. Not exactly Red Bull Arena here. I don't know where they play, but I guess it's not there. So let's see what this backup crew can do. The backup crew did very well earlier in the season. Like, up until... Ouch. Double-footed. Red card. Get out of here. Echevarria gets the red card, leaving the Red Bull shorthanded, and they got a lopsided situation here. Here we go. Crispum, the free kick, score. This is what we need. This is a game we need to get us back on track, I think. Crispum had complained about playing time earlier in the season, but he just came out and said, okay, I'm fine with getting playing time, because he's been playing a lot because of all the injuries we've had to our wingers. He's been playing a lot out on the right wing. But I guess playing at the wing is good enough. He didn't have to play center mid, so that's fine. We got him out on the wing today because of White has been playing so well. He's still not quite improving the way I'd hoped. He could use some more technical skills, because his technical skills are just not there. He's all physicals at this point, but he's still only 20 years old, so he's definitely got some time. We're trying to train him up. I'm not sure what we're training him up at the moment, but we need to start giving him that extra work that improves his technical skills. Just hired 3 new coaches, a goalkeeper coach, so we now have 3 goalkeeper coaches, and we hired an attacking coach and a defending coach to help us work on our tactics. So both the guys were tactically sound in offense, and the other one in defense. So I think we're like at 4 stars coaching in just about every situation, so that's good. That should help us improve the team. Glad gets hit in the face with that one. I don't think he was paying attention, but he played it off well. It's Hello Jr. Okay, that's interesting. Hilo Jr., I guess. Richie Salvador with a nice steal. Gets it up to Hitman. He's got some guys ranging forward, but he can't get it to him. The attack stalls. Glad to Crispum. He had the fullback going on the overlap, but now he takes it. Sends it forward. There's the Hitman. He heads it over. I don't think Hitman has done a heck of a lot for us this season. He's still a pretty good player. He just hasn't produced yet. I guess there was a penalty there. The crowd is not happy. Helio Jr. with his yellow card. Okay. Crispin's going to take the penalty. He fires it straight at the goalkeeper, but he can't keep it out. Crispum's 8th goal of the season. I mean, that's good production. I think several of those may have come in Champions League. I don't know. Definitely not 8 in the U.S. Cup because this is our first game in the U.S. Cup. So it must be just 8 in all competitions. There we go. That's the kind of first half we've been looking forward to. I mean, they got a red card. What are you going to do about that? They got no shots on target, 40% possession. I mean, come on at this point. Let's we're already in balance mode. This is our second formation. It's the Z formation, not the reverse Z. So we take things a little cooler. We're balanced possession. I think we'll just sort of slow it down and waste some time. Then, Hitman, we're going to make him a poacher. I feel like when you're trying to work the ball in the box, I feel like poacher is a better option there. Because let's look at what the description of poacher is. Sits on the shoulder of the last defender looking to break the defensive line and run into through balls from the midfield. An advanced forward looking to spearhead the attack. His primary duty is to be the focal point of the attack. Secondary role is to chase down misplaced through balls or clearance from deep. So I think like poacher looks more for like through balls and passes to him, and the advanced forward looks more for just balls bombed deep, right? So at least that's how I read it. Could not be the case, but there's a lot of stuff in this game that's up for interpretation, and I think that's part of the charm. Is that they don't tell you exactly what everything means. You got to try to figure out some of it for yourself, and that's okay. We got Coachella going on in the background. I don't know if you care about the music festival, but I watch it every year on YouTube for like the last 4 or 5 years, I guess. It's fun. You get to see new bands and hear some new music sometimes, and of course, there's always bands that you want to hear because you know them, and you just get a chance to see them in concert that you probably wouldn't normally get a chance to go to Coachella. But yeah, it's good way to keep up. And if you're an old fella like me, you can find some new bands, and it's a good time. Anyway, what are we doing here? Crispin's playing footsie. He finally gets the steal. Taking it down the right-hand side. Gets it forward to White. He's knocking into his own players here. He's just going to take it. Oh, he gets it forward to Wadey. I mean, that was an interesting run by White. He should have just taken that himself. He was sort of either take it yourself or pass it. Don't kind of do both. But anyway, we got a corner out of it from Wadey. Sends it in. Glad we've had a lot of success on corners this season. Our central defenders have scored quite a few goals. Oh, here's Arseman. He's going to take one. He does. Off the post. Crispum shanks one. That was like terrible. He basically whiffed. I mean, he's got an 8.8 rating and 2 goals, so nobody's perfect, but I think sitting there on the doorstep, he might have had a better shot at that, but anyway. We're killing them 16-6 in shots. Arseman throwing one up to Wadey, heads it down center to Richie Salvador. Left footer sneaks it for his 3rd goal of the season. We're getting closer to that time when we got to make the transition. We got to get Richie Salvador in as a starter. He's 20 years old now. Next year, he's got to start. Or we got to trade him, I think. One of the two things has to happen. That'll be like his peak value because he'll still have some room to grow. But, he needs to play. Should probably be playing more this year. He got quite, he's got quite a few starts both this year and last year, but it's not the same as when you're a full-time starter. and you're getting, 25 to 30 starts a year. That's kind of what you want for a young player to improve, is that around that area, 25 to 30 starts in a year, and you can see that big improvement. Now, he's still been improving, so that's good. Just got him a new contract. He's making a little bit more money now, $120,000. His contract is now until 2024. So we got him for a couple of more seasons, and I don't know. Akechi's not getting any younger. He's 28 now. There's some teams sniffing around Akechi as well. So I think if after, I want to say after the World Club Championship might be the time to sell Akechi. Probably be his peak value. So, last couple of seconds here, winding it down. There it is. 3-0 victory. Palate cleanser. I mean, we needed that. But at the same time, this is not an MLS victory. It's yet another cup victory. And look at what we got next. We got Seattle Sounders in first place coming up next. Did they overtake? No, they're first place in the... What? They're not first place in anything. What's happening here? They're second place in the Western Conference. Why does it say first place? Are they first place in the U.S. Cup somehow? The U.S. Cup doesn't even have standings. I don't know what that was, but they're pretty good. Whether they're first place or not, they're still pretty good. We got them coming up next. So that's going to be a heck of a game. Seattle, Colorado, Orlando FC, Orlando again in the U.S. Cup. It's our next opponent. So I guess we'll come back for the three-quarter update, and we'll check in with you then. So until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.